All right, just soak it in, everybody. This is the thing that we will be talking about today. I'll turn it around this way so you get the other effect there from the opposite side, just in case you're watching it
I,
backwards or
I didn't see any
you're
variants.
dyslexics. There is one. I did see a variant. So DC Universe Rebirth #1. We both read it.
I'm okay with it until we get to the end. So we can go through the book if
It
you want.
was it was it was good. I mean, I like the whole Barry thing going back to Flashpoint. Let's see. Let's basically kind of reset the universe back to that point. I mean, that's kind of what I'm seeing is, we had everything up to Flashpoint, right? And I kind of felt like things were going well with DC at that point. I liked it.
Mhm.
And then they're like, what if we change things again? So for those of you who are just joining DC now and thinking, wow, this is really cool, DC Rebirth, that sounds pretty fun. Or you've only been involved in DC through the the last 4 years that were the New 52,
Yep.
you don't know about the past of DC. Um,
I
you
can
know,
sum up everything you need to know about this book in like 4 or 5 sentences.
well, seeing as there's no monitors, I thought that was kind of interesting that they kind of just decided not to have the monitors involved, because the monitors have always been those beings outside of time that always manipulated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we have one scene in here that looks like the monitor, but
Really?
it's just like energy. But I looked at it and I was like, crap, that's the anti-monitor's face.
Where?
I'll look. I'll
You remember
look.
where it was? Yeah, you look through and remind me where it's at. So, I mean, if we want to go through the book kind of shot by shot, we start off with someone talking about a watch. Okay, now that's important in its own way, and we know Superman is missing, dead. I guess Doomsday beat him up.
No, 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 no. This is what's going on currently in Superman and
Okay,
Action Comics and all those books.
so
Superman's new 52 Superman
yeah,
is dead.
so truthfully, I haven't read a DC book other than Harley Quinn since first year of New 52. Now I read some of
Oh,
the Convergence crap, which was fun, but that's all. And I think I got a couple of the 3D lenticular covers when they did those back in Forever Evil, which I thought was interesting. But I really didn't get any other DC stuff. I loved old DC, like old. I liked pre-Crisis. I liked Crisis. I was in and out of it in between Crisis on Infinite Earths and the second Crisis. I got really back into DC with Identity Crisis, which was really the kickoff to a massive change in the universe, which was a lot of fun. Identity Crisis was one of the best series that DC has ever done. I mean, it really was excellent.
yeah.
And then from that, led the Countdown, Infinite Crisis. What was the whole other thing? There was like Countdown to Crisis, 52, Infinite Crisis. There's all the different things. And there was like the 1 year later thing. And then in that one, every book jumped ahead a year. And then for the next year, you had another book called 52, which came out every week and
Right.
retold the story of that missing year for everybody, which was pretty interesting. It was a lot of books and it got to be a little expensive, but it was a cool story. I kind of fell off then after all of that because I'd pretty much been buying 3 to 4 regular books just to keep up on a story for the last 3 years with DC. And I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
So things happened and Flashpoint happened, and I was someplace where I couldn't get comics. So there are such places in the world. And I actually picked up, I think, one book of the Flashpoint stuff, but I don't think I have any of the rest of it. I never read it.
Yeah.
But I understand the story was pretty cool.
I've seen the
Um,
animated movie.
oh, and is it the same?
I would assume it's pretty dang close.
Barry
What
goes
they
back in time, kind of like in the TV
Yeah,
show. He goes
yeah,
back in
and
time to
and
save his
this is
mom and saves his mom.
right. So this is the whole thing with this book is we basically start off with Flashpoint and what it did to our Wally West, who had been the Flash forever
Yeah.
till, from when Barry died and went into the Speed Force.
Wally West, everybody.
Yay, Wally.
Yeah, and he's back, sort of. At that point, that's the beginning of the book.
We get there. And what I was seeing was actually at the end, Chapter 1, Lost, that panel with it. It's the way that energy is lit up in that one. It looks just like the Monitor's helmet.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you could almost say that, but
yeah, you could see patterns and everything. That's what we did.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I saw.
Yeah, I think they really are staying away from the whole Monitor thing in this, trying not to make it a crisis again. If any of you remember Crisis on Infinite Earths, which I think I have the trade paperback back here, that was all about all of the different, infinite universes being squished down into one universe, basically, at the end of that. Mostly because the folks at DC couldn't keep track of continuity anymore, and they were like, well, let's see, Superman number 53 and Superman number 422 and Superman number 2 and Superman number 1 are all going to meet in in Action Comics number 624, and then they're going to go to Earth number 2579, and then it's like, who cares? Let's just get rid of all this. So they smashed everything down into one world. Of course, by doing that, you lost a lot, because you had an Earth with the regular Justice League, and you had an Earth with the Justice Society, and an Earth with the Injustice Society. You had different Earths that had all of these different people on them. And so they could move back and forth between realities sometimes. Barry Allen was the first one to run between reality and find somebody who was, in a different reality. It was kind of cool. I mean, it was really a neat thing, because it didn't happen all the time.
That was my whole thing with Flashpoint, though, is like Barry had been trapped in the Speed Force forever and gets out. And then the first thing he's going to do is go back through the Speed Force to save his mom.
I know. Well, so the pivotal point of, if we want to go back to Crisis on Infinite Earths, is that Barry Allen dies. And at this point, this was like the first major character death from DC, ever. I mean, Crisis killed a lot of people.
This was before. Was this right before Supergirl died?
No, right after.
She died in that
She died as part of Crisis. Yeah, issue number 6 or 8 or something. But she died as part of Crisis, so that was major. And they were killing off people left and right in Crisis. Squish, 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 you're dead. And then Barry Allen, running to defeat the Anti-Monitor and all this other stuff, and then he destroys the Anti-Monitor's machine.
Destroys the machine.
And he gets dissolved into the Speed Force. Actually, he super ages and dies.
Yeah, but the suit remains.
Yes. So Wally took the suit and became Barry Allen.
Yep. From Kid Flash to Flash.
Right. So then he was Flash for, all the time.
Something years, yeah.
Yeah. And then I guess the folks at DC decided that it just wasn't good enough. We got to bring Barry back. And so it's like, okay, well, this was a major character death, and he'd been dead for so long. And then all of a sudden he's back. Boom.
Yeah, because Barry Allen was Jeff Johns' favorite Flash.
Right. Which is fine.
It's good. If I'm the writer and I have that position, I definitely want to write my favorite characters too. Might as well. Let's come up with some fun way to bring them back, and then craziness ensues.
And it was well put together. It was well developed up to that point, because I remember reading some of that leading up to that. But then he decides to go back in time to save his mom, to kind of stop all the badness from happening and make everybody happier. And in doing that, he creates a Flashpoint. Mm-hmm. Funny how it's named after him, right?
Yeah.
And then instead of Bruce becoming Batman, Thomas Wayne becomes Batman, and that's kind of outlined in the book here. So a whole bunch of other stuff changes in the future. Well, then they all go back in time to stop Barry to stop him from stopping himself from killing his mom, or whatever happened. Anyway, so his mom dies and sets things right. But now we're told there's this mysterious...
10 years.
Right, 10 years was stolen. That's what Wally's telling us. So There's this mysterious hand. Where is
Right.
it here?
And it's repeated several times throughout this book that time isn't what was stolen from them. It was the relationships they'd built that was stolen.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
so than time. And it was done that way specifically to weaken them for some reason we don't know yet.
Right. I'm looking for that hand thing. Where is that hand? There it is.
I don't remember.
So there's the hand.
Yeah. But it's really cool, like, because basically this book is taking us through what Wally's been going through, or Wally's journey while he's trapped in the Speed Force this time.
Yeah.
That's basically what it looked like. And him trying to find that tether to bring himself back.
Right. And I think it was good. I mean, it was definitely something, as I'm reading it, I'm getting invested in it. It's emotional. It's a roller coaster. I laughed. I cried. It moved me, Bob. Anyway.
Yeah. But realistically, you didn't need... If you've ever read any DC, if you're familiar with DC at all, even if you just watch like Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, the animated series, you can pick up this book and read it.
Even if you only watched the Super Friends as a kid,
yeah,
you could pick this book up.
You could, yep.
But there's no Gleek.
Thank the gods.
And that's really, though, to make this perfect, they could have had Zan and Jaina in there and just,
Well, they got some characters in the new Batman book that kind of look like that uniform, so.
Jan and Zaina. Zan and Jaina? Jan and Zaina. Yeah. Well, you're talking about Gotham and what's-her-face?
Oh, is that the dude's name?
Gotham and Gothamite? Yeah, he's in here.
Yeah.
He's in here. Well, I mean, there's some interesting things. So there's a lot to pick apart in this book, and not even getting to the big reveal in the end, which may or may not be anything. There's definitely a focus on this letter that Thomas Wayne wrote to Bruce, or gave to Bruce, right? And this is when he went back in time and did whatever.
No. This is Flashpoint stuff. This is wild.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It was the Flashpoint. So okay. Yep. So there's definitely some stuff that we're arcing back now. What, 4.5 years, right? Mm-hmm. To 5 years probably to Flashpoint and everything that happened there. And I mean the whole point of this is to undo what Flashpoint did.
Right.
Ultimately, right? It's not a reboot.
But it's not Flashpoint that did it.
Well, right. I mean, Flashpoint was the catalyst that whatever it was took advantage of.
Right.
It opened the hole.
It made whoever recognized that something was going on, and then they figured out a way to tap into it, basically.
Right. And that's what we're getting is there's something, whatever this force is, that reached in when the opportunity arose through Flashpoint to steal whatever, to make changes to whatever, that whatever the hand did, it did during Flashpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to get a picture of that and just blow it up really big. And anytime we have, I don't know what's going on with this issue. It doesn't matter. The hand, just
the hand did it.
Hold that up. Yeah. So Johnny Thunder was in here, which I thought was kind of cool, even though he's an old man.
Oh yeah, that's who it was.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So we're talking Justice Society, Johnny Thunder, which is pretty cool, and we have I can't remember her name. She's from Legion of Superheroes, the girl who could see the future.
Yeah, I can't remember her name either. I was trying to remember it when I saw the ring, and I was like, I know who she is.
Yeah, I just can't remember. It's not Harbinger, right?
Mm-mm.
No, because she wasn't in the Legion. I don't know. Anyway,
they'll tell us.
If you know, put it in the comments. That'd be awesome. And then we have Ray Palmer, lost in the microverse. Oh, first he discovered the microverse. It's like, yeah, okay, dude. Been there before.
Then he got stuck there.
And then he gives this other kid, Amadeus Cho.
Yep.
Whatever his name is. Ryan Choi, I think, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, Ryan Choi. Gives him a belt and tells him to come find him. So that's kind of course, the funniest part of that was, now you're going to meet this person. Whatever you do, do not click. Sorry.
Where every message cuts off right
Whatever
before
it
you
was.
get the information.
And he's like, Professor Palmer.
Yep.
It's
But
pretty funny.
Then next we see Ted Cord. So we got Ted Cord back.
and the other kid.
Jaime Reyes. Reyes.
Reyes. Yeah.
So we got both our Blue Beetles.
Right. Yeah,
Crazy.
which is
So we're gonna have
and well, and it doesn't look like Ted Cord is the Blue Beetle.
He's wearing a Blue Beetle T-shirt.
He is, and he built the Beetle.
Yeah,
so I don't
Jaime
know.
doesn't need it. So yeah,
His name is Jaime.
Jaime Reyes. Spelled like Jamie, but it's with an H. It's pronounced with an H.
Oh yeah, okay. All right, Jaime. So anyway, this is the Blue Beetle, the second Blue Beetle from that's really pre-Flashpoint stuff.
Yeah,
because he became Blue Beetle during 52. Or wasn't it 52?
Scarab. Yeah.
He got the Scarab, and he actually accessed more powers than Ted Cord ever did.
Ted
from the
Cord
Scarab.
never really even used the Scarab.
He had it, but he never really. Yeah. Yep. So it's interesting, and I think it's cool. Dr. Fate comes in, being all Dr. Fatey, being like, "You don't know what you're messing with," and
you don't know
finally
me.
revealing.
That was the weird thing. Was he said, "You don't know me," even though that's Dr. Fate. We all know who Dr. Fate is.
Yeah, but that means that he's just somebody else.
He's a different Dr. Fate, maybe.
Well, because so if we go back to pre-52, well, wait a minute now. Was Trinity War? Not Trinity War.
I don't know. I didn't read. I was out of books for a long time, so
during 52, during the new 52.
Yeah, I didn't jump back in till 10 issues into the new 52.
Okay, well then you were reading it.
I didn't read it until from like say 2000 till then.
So. Okay, what about right up to Forever Evil?
Yeah,
did you read some of that stuff? Okay, so when the Trinity of Sin, Pandora, and all that stuff. Okay, so you remember during that time there was some stuff that happened that basically Dr. Fate. So this was the end of the 9th Age of Magic. Do you remember all that? Wasn't that during that time?
I don't remember it.
See, maybe that was pre-52 then. But there was a whole big thing, I remember at one point, where all that was left was Fate's helmet in the end, and Detective Chimp and all those guys were there. Crap. Anyway, back when I was really reading 52, there was all kinds of stuff, and basically that age of magic ended. Mm-hmm. And a new age of magic started, but it was different. And so I wonder if that's kind of what he's leading towards here, is there's, you don't know me because I'm a new Dr. Fate. I don't know. But yeah, he basically reveals finally that the Scarab is magical, which we kind of knew it was in the past, but it's never really been delved in. It was always sort of thought of as alien technology.
Right, and that's what we were led to believe, especially with like Young Justice, things like that, that second season invasion stuff.
Yep.
But then, and it's the whole time, it's like we're just kind of like seeing glimpses of the world and what's going on. We're just jumping through everywhere in this book.
Right.
We see Damien blowing out his 13th birthday candles.
Evil freaking Damian Wayne.
Yeah, he's kind of crazy.
He's kind of creepy. Yeah.
We got Jessica Cruz, our new Green Lantern. She's getting a report from someone, and we hear Sinestro mentioned.
That's Hal.
So that's going to be fun.
She's getting a report from Hal. Yeah, because she says, you're talking about the Green Lantern that carries a gun, Hal. Well, we know who that is. That's the other, what's his name? Baz.
Oh, Simon Baz.
Simon Baz. So he's the one who carries a gun. So she says, you're talking about the Green Lantern that carries a gun. I'd really rather not. I only just got this ring and you're busy. She says, who's Sinestro? That was interesting,
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. And then we have a little flash here not a little flash. Sorry, I can't say that in this book, right? But this is kind of Barry Wally tumbling around and just seeing glimpses of things.
Because like I said, the whole time he's trying to find someone to communicate with. He tries with Batman. Doesn't really work. Like, Batman's not his anchor.
Right.
So he tries with Thunderbolt. That's not his anchor. He can't get through to him.
Yep.
Next, though, what we see is I kind of skipped it. We do get Aqualad back.
Yeah,
He's a little different, but we get him back in 2 panels. But then we jump over to Pandora
yeah,
running
and
away.
Pandora. Well, and Pandora, if we go back to Forever Evil, Pandora was critical in opening the portal to another world to bring in the Injustice League, right? Injustice Society or whatever they're called. Crime Syndicate. Crime Syndicate.
Crime Syndicate, yes.
Yeah. So she was pivotal in opening that portal to bring them into the New 52 world.
What
So-
I also, if you
Go
look
ahead.
at her face, she has the same lightning bolts on her face as Owen Reese, Molecule Man, does.
That's true. Yeah. I don't think it's correlated, but you never know.
I don't either, but it's kind of funny.
Maybe that hand is Owen Reese playing around with this other universe.
But
Or the Beyonder. Maybe it's the Beyonder.
well, we saw the DC universe in Marvel's multiverse.
That's right.
So it could be
That's
there.
right.
Could be there.
That'd be funny.
But Pandora is just like poof, she's gone. So I thought that was really really fun for Jeff Johns, a character he created. He then just destroys and says,
Yeah,
"Never mind, done
wow.
with you."
Poof, you're gone. But it's interesting too, and it makes you wonder then, who's she talking to? Is she talking to the editorial staff and going, "Hey, people are going to find out that you're just a cruel monster"? And he's like, it's like the Bugs Bunny cartoon. I'm just erasing you.
Mm-hmm.
Or with the Daffy Duck cartoon where he's like erasing him and drawing stuff in,
Yeah.
But no, definitely there's something outside that's affecting things, and it, whatever it is, it's blue, and it makes her explode into nothing, which leads us into the end of this. But there's some more. I mean, there's some something about Diana having a twin brother named Jason. Did we know this before?
Now this is revealed, and that the father is Darkseid, which we kind of already knew. But so that leads us into having a new Darkseid, basically, since Darkseid's dead.
I don't know if if Darkseid's the father.
He is.
Are you sure? Because it says his name is Jason, Father. He's out there in the world. He has great power, like you, Darkseid. And then she has a baby that she's holding, and she calls that baby Darkseid. Jason is not. Jason is Wonder Woman's twin brother. Wonder Boy? Wonder Man? Wait, no, he's from Marvel.
But that's how we're supposed to get our Darkseid back, I think.
Yeah, well, this woman, who is this woman? Do we know?
Nope.
Painted all up with symbols, and she had a baby.
Unless that's Grail. Darkseid's daughter, Grail. Who we
I don't
just
know.
met in Darkseid War.
It looks like she's on Themyscira.
But it could be any island.
I don't know. It's just interesting. She's talking about Wonder Woman, talking about Diana, and
Wow.
and she's on an island. So anyway, yeah, Darkseid's back. Superman's gone. Everybody's dead. Just consider everybody dead, and let's start over with the new books.
But it's so sad because
It's too much.
They're trying to figure out what's going on, and nobody can figure out what's going on.
Everybody's sad because their hope has been destroyed.
But we get some good explanation, like here, the next page we see Green Arrow and Black Canary kind of see each other, and it sparks in them. Like like I said, it's just all about these misconnections or these relationships that are just now gone. And why was that done? Why were those years and those relationships taken away?
Yep. And I think we're getting to probably the first real telling part of what they're leading us into with Rebirth. And I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know if I'm ready to like this or not. I mean, this next page. So we got Lois and Clark, who are really from another.
Did you like the motel they're staying at?
That's funny.
Nice. It's a good throwback. They're at the Siegel Motel.
The Siegel Motel. That's hilarious.
Nice throwback to Jerry Siegel there.
Yeah. Well, which they probably had to do. It's like legally obligated to put that in there. So we know this Lois and Clark are from a parallel world, right? and which is weird. And as Clark walks out, this guy, black guy in a robe with a little sickle thingy, pops in there, and he says, "You're not who you think you are." And they say, he's like, "Who are you?" He says, "Well, who I am does not matter. At least not yet. For now, you can call me Mr. Oz, if you like."
Yeah, and he even says the Superman that fell wasn't even who he thought he was.
Right. And he does say, what I am, well, that's a different story. Friend or enemy is too simple a term when you consider the long game. Some might call this that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and... this has already been out. This book's been out, came out today. If you're just reading it today, you probably want to turn this show off because I'm going to go ahead and spoil something about the book that you may be like, but it's already been out, leaked for the last 2 weeks, and most other people have already covered it and, been cruel about it. But Mr. Oz, this character is supposed to be Ozymandias from The Watchmen. Maybe. So there's nobody else.
I don't know.
The way he talks about the strategic plans, the long game, Ozymandias. If you've ever read Watchmen or if you've watched the movie's pretty good. The book is amazing.
Yep.
And Ozymandias is the bad guy. He's the bad guy behind that story. So if you haven't read Watchmen, which it's been out for 25 years, if you haven't read it, I'm spoiling it for you. Sorry. But he's the bad guy in the end. Even though he's a hero, he is the smartest man alive. He sees all the possibilities. He sees all the weaknesses, all the strengths, all the opportunities, all the plays, all the moves, and always picks the best one. You want to talk about somebody in a fight who would beat Batman hands down every time, that's Ozymandias. No amount of preparation from Batman could beat him.
Because you can't factor in the one thing that Batman can't be broken. His heart, man.
But it doesn't matter. Because in the end, he's still going to fight for humanity. And Ozymandias is not. Ozymandias is going to fight for the best option. Even if it means, as we see in the end of Watchmen, killing, a big chunk of humanity.
Yeah. So his option, if he fought Deadpool, would be to kill himself.
Right.
Can't beat him. He's not logical.
Like Deadpool fighting Taskmaster, right?
Right, exactly.
Copy this move.
Yeah. Crap.
So we've got Ozymandias. It makes sense then, and going back to the watch part of this beginning of the book, Watchmen, the watch, right? And as we play through the story some more, we see some other things. Barry almost comes back. He finds Linda Park, thinking that's his connection. It's not. It fails. He gets sucked back in the Speed Force. And he really goes to his last resort after a few other attempts.
Aquaman proposes to Mira.
Yeah, which is pretty cool because he thinks, that's kind of the love coming back, right? Blossoming. Right. But is it even going to matter now? Is everything kind of going to get reset and then that's going to go away? Who knows? He sees Wally West, the other Wally West, the one from the TV show. That's what I can say.
Cousin. Who's right. Assistant, right. Second cousin or something.
Of course. And then he sees Barry, and he basically goes to Barry to say goodbye.
Yep.
And it's very touching. Me. Very sad, very touching. I'm like, oh, this is sad. It's too bad he's going to be gone. And then he's not. Barry reaches out, remembers him. Yep, pulls him back at the last second. And,
say my name.
Right. And Wally's there. Wally is the one who knocks. Say my name. Watch Breaking Bad. Song. I was thinking Breaking Bad. That's better. Anyway.
Francis.
No, Francis. So Barry and Wally reconciled. Oh, it's so good. I can't believe I forgot you. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go through all this again now. And then it's like something else stole this from us. It wasn't the Flashpoint at all. It was something else.
Something else.
Someone else. So then we go back to Batman, and Batman's whole thing, he's thinking about what Barry said to him, or Wally said to him while he was like in the flashy image, and he's trying to think, what could it be? And he digs in the wall, and I think
Yeah, he sees something like shine in the cave. Like on the cave wall, he sees something.
Oh yeah, a little sparkle.
Yeah.
A glimmer of hope?
Maybe.
No. A glimmer of comedy.
But see, it's already got the blood on it.
I know.
He's dead.
Well, and that's why I said. So the question, and then the epilogue is very telling, because the epilogue moves out from Earth and goes to Mars, and as it shows the watch being taken apart and the hand moving, it's. I mean, the end of it, the last page, the clock is ticking across the DC universe. The clock is ticking. And we're 15 minutes to midnight. And this is the Doomsday Clock from the... that's different song. The Doomsday Clock from The Watchmen, that the scientists are moving forward to say, we're 15 minutes to midnight, this means we're close to extinction, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, it's good. It was well put together. It's an interesting story. I'm intrigued to see what happens. I will probably pick up all of the Rebirth #1 books just to see how they play things out.
Don't do it. Don't get sucked in. Don't pick up books you don't want to get.
I'm going to. I want to see how they
Tell me how Teen Titans is then.
Well, I will. I want to see how they play in the Watchmen characters into this whole thing. Because I like Watchmen. But my thoughts on this are that the Watchmen, if you're trying to figure out a timeline, where does this fit in? Okay. We know that at the end of Watchmen, the comedian's dead. My favorite character, Rorschach, is dead. And really all that's left is Silk Spectre. Or no, Silk Spectre? Is that her name?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Silk Spectre and Owlman and Ozymandias and Dr. Manhattan. So we have 4 characters out of the original 7. Well, 6, yeah. I mean, there's 7. Well, we've got the older characters that died off. But yeah, 6. So 4 of them still alive. So far in here, we've seen 2 of them, potentially. We haven't actually seen Dr. Manhattan, but the speculation is there with the Mars thing and the fact that he's putting the watch together. And he says Adrian.
And he's talking to Adrian. But at the end of Watchmen, we only have Silk Spectre, Owl, and Dr. Manhattan are the only ones that survive the end of the story.
Ozymandias. He doesn't die. Remember? He doesn't die because everybody realized he was right. They all agree that he was right, and they leave it be. They just go on. That's what's so sad about it. It's kind of it's like, yeah, I guess he was justified in doing that. There's nothing we can do. He's right. We have to let this happen. And that's why in the end of the movie, it's so strong. The whole story comes to that point with Rorschach. You can't do this.
Yeah,
this is not right. And then
I'm going to tell him.
He's like, yeah, you have to kill me. Just kill me. And he's like, okay, Pop.
Already told him.
Yeah, right. So again, I mean, yeah, we have that, which kind of, that happened. So everybody in their world knew about them, but is their world gone and they're outside trying to get back in? It's weird because Ozymandias is there. He's in this world. So what's the game? That's what we got to figure out. What's the game? So I don't know. Dr. Manhattan, he's all powerful. We know that. I mean, no matter what, he is a force of the universe. So it's funny to look now to see how some of the Watchmen series are jumping up. It's like the 12-issue series is like $150 now if you want to buy it. If #1 is like $50. I'm like, you could have bought a whole set of those for $30 like a couple weeks ago.
Jeez.
Just nuts. I mean, even the before Watchmen stuff that came out, people are just scarfing that up like crazy. All the speculation, and it's so funny. Don't give in to that stuff. It's silly. But overall, I mean, I would say I liked the story. I'll have to see more to see if I'm really interested in the way they're going to lay out this world. I don't know. The plans are, and you still have your book there. I put mine away because I didn't
Yep.
even want to look at the last couple pages. So we have some number ones coming out, some Rebirth number ones, which would just be one shots, right? For Batman, Superman, Justice League, Teen Titans, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and what else? They're in the inside last page. Flash, Green Lantern, and something else. It's like the last page of the book. Sorry, I closed it already.
Batman, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Superman, Aquaman, The Flash, Wonder Woman, Titans, Justice League, Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns, Nightwing,
Oh, okay.
Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, the Hellblazer, Red Hood and the Outlaw, Suicide Squad, Deathstroke, Supergirl, Blue Beetle, Cyborg, Teen Titans, and Batman Beyond.
So pretty much everybody that we've seen. We didn't see anything about Batman Beyond in this book, but everybody will have their little piece of how does their character get set into this new world, whatever it's going to be. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
And Wally's going to be on the Titans, not the Teen
Right.
Titans, regular Titans, which is
Yep.
Dan Abnett, who we like.
Yep.
And art is going to be by Brett Booth, who is my favorite artist. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be picking up Titans.
Yep. I will check it out. Most of these books I will probably add in. I'm looking to cut some more stuff anyway, so I'll cut some stuff and I'll add a few of these books just for a month or two. I'm really not interested in doing the weekly or bi-weekly stuff that they're going to be doing, and I don't really want to invest too much into DC overall. So
Yeah, I'm gonna be picking and choosing. I am gonna go back and start picking up Green Arrow again since they gave him the goatee. I may actually
cool.
cut down to the goatee again in honor of that. But I have
cool.
when's the book come out? June 15th. So I got a couple weeks.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, I think we liked it. Maybe not loved it, but it was good. It was better than some people have said. Not as great as other people have said. We don't work for DC, so we don't have to say it was great. But overall, it was an interesting little twist to the way things are.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a really good idea of how they can wrap it up. Like but to me, they could have done the whole thing without the Watchmen aspect of it also.
Yeah, but they have to have the big bad, whatever it is that stole everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I guess I want to see because we don't know what that aspect is. We just know they're there. So, and maybe it's not Dr. Manhattan that's doing all the changes. Maybe he didn't steal it, whatever. Maybe they just know about it and they're gonna help fight it. Maybe it is the Anti-Monitor.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Anti-Monitor. Crap. I mean, if they're going to bring it back, that's fine. But then let's bring those characters back because I would like to see a Silk Spectre and was it the Night Owl? Was his name the Night Owl?
Yeah, Night Owl. Oh,
I know. Owlman is Earth 2
Owlman,
guy.
right.
Syndicate.
Yep,
I would
Night
like
Owl.
to see a book of them. So just like Silk Spectre and Night Owl. That would be a book I would pick up and read.
Yeah, well, even a Watchmen, series wouldn't be bad, where they kind of told different stories. That would be cool. But I don't know.
Like you said, I'm still stuck with Watchmen. I'm still stuck with it. It's over.
Yeah.
Where in their history is this taking place? Like,
Yep.
you can't. But whatever.
Well, and that's what's hard to tell. I mean, we see the characters, but we don't really know where things fit because he did come back down from Mars. Dr. Manhattan came back down from Mars to wrap up that whole story. So did their universe also get zapped in this whole corruption thing of the Flashpoint?
Must have.
I mean, it seems that the other parallel universes also got impacted by the Flashpoint. So did they lose 10 years and something happened? And, so I don't know.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see because if they lost 10 years, then in effect, the the Watchmen takes place 10 years before, like it came out in the 90s, but it actually took place in the 80s or something, or it took place in the 80s and came back like it was 10 years different from where it actually came out. Yeah, but whatever year it was, whatever was going on was actually like 10 years ago on our world, but it was not on like Nixon had been president 4 years in a row or something.
Yeah.
Four terms.
Yeah, he got rid of like term limits or something.
Yeah, yep, became president over and over and over again.
But it's because they used the Watchmen. The Watchmen became a branch of the U.S. government, basically, and they used them in a war, which they haven't done with others. Like you can go back to the World War II stuff with like Superman or Captain America. I guess Captain America is a bad example. He was a soldier, but like they didn't like it wasn't like America saying, "Go kill them for us," you know?
Right.
But that's what that was. I don't know. It just seemed a little different. But it'll be really cool to see how they're going to work in that time displacement jammy Jew.
Yeah,
it's going to have to happen.
yeah. There's definitely. I mean, it's a square peg in a round hole, and what are they going to shave off to make it fit? Or are they just going to blow the hole away? And yeah. Square pegs for everybody.
I don't know, but like you said, wrapping it up, I like the story. I think it was good. Out of 5, I'd give it a solid 4, maybe a 4.5.
Yeah, I'd be in the 4 range. I think it's worth for $2.99. It's worth picking up and reading.
Yes.
If you haven't read a DC book for 2 years, like I haven't, then pick it up and read it because it takes you back to some of the pre-52 stuff. If you were disappointed by 52, and I was disappointed by the new 52. I was. There were things that happened in the new 52, and I was like, why aren't you guys doing this?
I don't know. Nightwing got a cool like suit with some red on it. I thought that was cool, and then everybody flipped out. Why is it not blue?
Well, and why is Superman not blue? I think that they need to make, because they talked about multiple Superman. They need to have the red Superman and the blue Superman again with electrical powers. That's awesome.
No. Just look at that at the end of the book. After the epilogue, it has that spread of all the characters.
Yep.
Holy crap! I didn't know there were that many Shazam characters.
Yeah, I know.
There's like 6 people up there with lightning bolts on their chests.
Yeah, well, the whole Shazam family, the Marvel family. Well, it used to be called the Marvel family. It's the Shazam family. Remember?
That's
Mary
what
Marvel
they were
and all
talking
that.
about. Yeah, the Marvel family. Oh, okay. Somebody was referring to that, and I was thinking they were talking about an actual Marvel Comics poster.
Oh,
that
no.
had Marvel's family in it, which to me would have been the Fantastic Four back. I was like, what the crap's going on?
No, they used to be called the Marvel family, and it was Mary Marvel, and it was Shazam, and they had 5 or 6 people in there, and that was back before everything got so dark for that group. I mean, with Mary Marvel going black there, her black suit during Forever Evil, and that was crazy. Black Adam. Of course, Black Adam died, right? Is he coming back then? Looks like.
Wow. I had to look for the Atom on this thing. It's on Wonder Woman's shield.
Oh, cool.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
They are carrying over some character changes though, like the Huntress, the new Huntress they reintroduced just recently in like Grayson and stuff. They're keeping her as the Huntress. They're not changing her back.
Well, I think that's a good thing. There are some good things that people liked. We just hope Batgirl gets a normal costume.
Well, she doesn't have one in this picture.
That's too bad.
Bunch of crap.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Okay, that's kind of our summary for DC Rebirth. Oh well.
Oh well.
So, you guys like, share, subscribe. Please leave us some comments. Let us know what you think. We'll definitely respond. If we get enough comments, maybe we'll have another show where we just read your comments and answer them on a show.
And do a giveaway.
Yes, we could definitely do a giveaway. I could get one of the variant covers for DC Rebirth to give away, maybe.
Or we could give you Convergence.
Yes! I could get the entire Convergence set for like a nickel and send it to you. Probably not. Yeah. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for watching, and go Be reborn.
In the Speed Force.
Yay! Later.